Add a twist to your Valentine card projects this year with some ghost friends. This fun and easy DIY project will help you create spooky sweet cards that are perfect for spreading love and smiles. The supplies I'm using today will be listed down below in the video description and over on my blog. Here are the products that I picked out that I wanted to work with, starting with the XOXO piercing plate. This is a die that's going to create some piercings into your cardstock. For sentiment, I'll be using the Valentine greetings. And for images, I'm using the Valentine Ghost Friends, which I think is a really fun twist on your Valentine card projects. This would be really easy to just stamp your ghosts in black ink onto white cardstock and leave them as is, but I'm going to add a little bit of color and it might be an unexpected color. So I'm starting off with white cardstock that I placed in my Misty tool and I inked up my images using an alcohol-friendly ink. For markers today to color in my images, I'm going to be using my Olo markers, but any type of alcohol marker that you have on hand would work for this. I'm starting out with this first ghost here using R0.2, and I'm going to blend it out with an R0.1. Now, after I did that, I decided that I really didn't need that zero point 0.2, so I'm just going to go through all of my ghosts and mainly just color inside of that line. So in the actual body of the ghost using that R0.1. So I did that for all of the ghosts. And then I'm coming in to color the hearts. For the hearts, I am using R0.4. I'm using the lightest color first. And then I'm coming in with R0.6. And I'm just adding a line of that darker color. I am not worrying about blending anything out. I think it's really fun sometimes, especially with these smaller images, to not blend your color out, and it gives it more of a pop of dimension. I'm going to use those same red colors for all of my other elements for the most part, coloring in that heart lock. I have a bow, we have the hearts on the envelope, and then also that box of chocolate. I do bring in a shade of yellow to color in the key. And then I think I come in with some vibrant pink for another heart and then also the sunglasses. But for the most part, I'm keeping this pretty monochromatic. So once everything is colored in, I lined up the coordinating dies and die cut out all of those images. Now here is the background I created from a light pink cardstock. You can see how that piercing plate just pierces the holes into your cardstock. It just makes for some really fun texture to your background. And since for the most part, my card is almost ready to go, I just need a sentiment. So I am stamping this You're a Sweetheart from the Valentine's Greeting stamp set. I am stamping that in a black ink, and then I'm going to trim it out with the coordinating die. And I also trimmed out about two more extra pieces from this piece of white cardstock. I like to layer these together to help build up the dimension versus adding the foam squares to some of those smaller areas. Now, before I start creating the card, I'm going to be trimming down that XOXO panel of cardstock. And then I also trimmed out a piece of craft foam to about the same size, and I layered these together with some liquid glue. Then I can attach this to an A2 size side folding card base. It's going to leave me a nice white border around the edge, and that craft foam just really provides some stability behind my cardstock. Then I went in and laid out where I wanted all of my ghosts to go. So I did kind of have a game plan when I did this. I started with the ghosts and I didn't want it to be too symmetrical. If that was going to be the case, I would have did a grid style type of card using the ghosts, but that is why I have an odd number of ghosts here to kind of make them look like they're swirling around that sentiment. And then I have all the smaller pieces that I'm going to use as fillers, which I added everything with thin foam squares just to give it a little bit of lift. One of the fun things about creating this card is I got to use almost all of the elements on that stamp set. So it's a really fun design that you can use with multiple stamp sets. If you have something that has larger images and smaller images, that's a great kind of baseline to start with. That kind of monochromatic look that I went with using the reds and then the light pink cardstock made it really easy to put this card together as far as colors go. And then the sentiment itself, this can be used all year round. It doesn't have to be just for Valentine's Day. But I am not done yet. I decided I wanted to have some sparkle to this and some shine. So I am taking some glossy accents and putting it over some of the hearts. And then I'm sprinkling on some Prisma glitter. Now, when you do this, I could have probably prepped the cardstock maybe with an anti-static powder tool, but really once everything is completely dry, I can come in with a paintbrush and just brush off any of the extra glitter. Now, after everything is on here and I added some more glitter down at the bottom, I did take a paintbrush and brush it off of the main cardstock piece. But as far as like on my ghosts, I waited till that was completely dry. Now, as I bring this closer to the camera, you can really see how behind the glitter it's kind of cloudy. That is going to dry clear once everything is completely dry. So don't be alarmed by that. Just give that some time to dry. And this is such a fun and unique way to create your cards using these spooky sweet ghosts from Pretty Pink Posh. I hope you enjoyed today's inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me. Here is another video I think you might enjoy.